Hey guys, I'm Killen Void, and I'm back finally with another tutorial of my latest remix I just dropped for... I still don't know the name of the song actually. It's GeI Gewalt, because I think the track title is German. But anyways, yeah, it's the last release of the year, and I wanted to get back into the YouTube thing. And gonna be dropping more videos soon, so stay tuned for that. It's gonna be about creativity, music production, all these kind of things. So if you're interested in that, better stay tuned for future videos. And yeah, without further ado, if you enjoyed the remix, I'm gonna be breaking it down today. I'm gonna be focusing on the first drop. And yeah, but in case you haven't heard it yet, let's have a listen. So yeah, so it's kind of a weird one. I definitely did like a different approach this time with this song, because like the original is also like very experimental, and I highly encourage you guys to listen to that song. I'm gonna be linking it somewhere here. And yeah, that one, I enjoyed that track a lot, so I was like super honored to be able to remix this one. And it really inspired me to try a few different things. And first of all, I used the BPM I normally don't use at all, like 103 BPM. And I tried to incorporate kind of drum and bass-ish sound design things. Was like listening to a lot of Imanu at that time, and I think you can kind of hear like this granular approach to things. And yeah, so the first thing I want to be looking at is basically why I think the song works. So it has kind of an interesting call and response thing. So we have this first section that has only kicks, and it's doing this like very fast beating rhythm. And then it's kind of all resolving into this part where the half-time snare is coming in. So I think it's all building up to that, really. And then it's coming back to the slow pattern again. But let's have a listen only to the bass and the drums for now, so you can kind of see what I mean with that. So first we only have like this very empty part, and then it's opening up basically to this big bass and the half-time snare. And switch. Wait, I forgot to turn on the second bass, but no, the turnaround sounds like that. So I think this is like the basic structure that makes the whole song work, and then it repeats again, just with a few new elements to keep it exciting. But yeah, this is like the base structure of the thing, and then I was pretty much playing around with like tons of different sounds, but I think it still worked because this basic structure was given, and people were able to follow along through this A-B kind of call and response pattern. And yeah, so the main sounds, let's have a listen to those. As you can see, it's all audio, and it's not bounced or anything. I worked only in audio for this remix, basically, like for the main lead sound at least. So how did I make those sounds? Basically, I was like super lazy with this one, but it just worked perfectly. I just threw effects on the master file of the original track. And it was really just one effect. It was Portal, in case some of you guys know this plugin. Yeah, basically what I did is take the whole final master file of the remix and just throw effects on there. And I think this is like a very useful approach for making remixes, because then you can like take like the original sounds but already have them like in different contexts and have like different glitches and all that, those kind of things to that. So yeah, I think that's pretty nice. And a little fun fact about this is that Kenji, the artist of the original track, was actually the first person to show me Portal, because we know each other from university. And yeah, I remember like sitting in this room like one night, and like he showed me like all these things, and Portal was one of those things. And ever since then, I'm like such a huge fan of Portal. So when he asked me to do the remix, it was kind of like necessity for me to do the remix in Portal, kind of. But yeah, how I use Portal is like most people, I think. I don't really play around too much with the knobs actually, and just go for the presets. And here I have like my favorites category, where I just have like my favorite presets. Then I usually just go through them and see what sticks best. And I really like this Echoes preset because that one does like this these grainy chunks. So you can see, you can hear that it takes like this original song, and just chops it into little pieces. And then I just resample that onto a new track and resample like a huge file. And then I take this file and usually put it into the part of some part of the drop, and then I chop it around. And this is basically what I did here. So this is what I ended up with. But if I open it up, you will be able to see how long this file actually is, you know? And I just picked this little part. I didn't even chop it up actually. I just left it how I recorded it. And you can see here all these different parts I recorded, but then this part came. It's just exactly the part that I used in the end. And yeah, so there is a few effects on there, but they are not doing a ton to the sound, I think. So if I just turn them off real quick. It's really just making space for like the sub bass and like shaping it a little so it fits better into the song. So let me just turn on the effects one by one, so we can see what basically is happening here. First off, I have a kilohertz comb filter here, and I don't really use it for comb filter actually. I turn it onto stereo, so I think usually it's on off. And then I turn it onto the stereo, put like the frequency all the way down, and then turn it up. And this creates a really nice stereo effect. And I think this is super underappreciated as a stereo effect, this little plugin. So I use that a lot too. If I feel like the sound has like not enough stereo information, I just do this basically. Just turn up the mix a little, and you can hear it just adds a little bit on the stereo field. Makes it a little wider, you know. Next off, I'm cutting some of the higher frequencies. Next, there's a little bit of OTT. Don't need to tell you how that sounds. Just adds a little bit of energy. Next off, I'm cutting back out the lows and boosting a little bit of those frequencies, just trying to make it fit into the mix. And this next one is also like a little important, but it's like super easy. This is just reverb automation. So it's basically, let me show you here. Whenever this line is going up, there is reverb coming in. Just to add like more to the rhythm, really. And my reverb automation rig also consists of an OTT, because I just like also like boosting the sound at the same time as well. Because sometimes I feel like it's just washing out the sound, and I also want the sound to stay strong in a way. So I also modulate an OTT in at the same time as the reverb. And after that, I cut the lows again because the OTT might add some lows again, and then, you know, just shaping the sound a little bit more. And that's it. And yeah, that's the main processing for the sound. Then, like, another important thing is maybe this one. I just felt like there's some sparkle missing, so I basically took like the same sample and pitched it up an octave with Elastic Pitch, which is one of my favorite pitching plugins, because this one sounds just so great. It's basically Complex Pro but in real time, so you don't have to bounce things. You can just throw this thing on and just play around and even automate like the pitching and all that. So but you know, like pitching is like a process that can sound really horrible very fast, but this one keeps like the sound very well, I think. And yeah, the only difference in the chain here is that it's cutting out a lot there. So yeah, and that's just to add a little sparkle, so you can hear without and with the sparkle. Just adding a little bit more of that high information to really give it that crunch. And yeah, the one more thing that is happening here really for the lead sound is like those little vocal chops that I'm just fading in here. Just to pronounce this the end of all these phrases a little bit more. Like it's the reverb coming in and those vocal chops as well. You know, just to play with the rhythm there. I think that's real nice. And then next off we have like pretty much just a different part of the sample. Not even having a sparkle because I probably thought this is just enough. And then again, it's really just a part of this huge sample with I made from Portal. Here I played around a little bit with the rhythm, so it fits better with like snares and all that. And one special thing here is like this little instrument rack here. This one is from Caracal Project, so go check out the Caracal Project Patreon because I got this rack basically from there. I remade it from a tutorial there and just adjusted it to my likings basically. What this rack basically is just a transient adder. Like you have like this two chains. The first is this, just some white noise, and the second one is like a click. But I mainly did not use that one. So how you use this rack is basically to add some more transients, and you decide whether you want to have like white noise attack or like a pitch attack. So if you want more pitch attack, you just turn it up and maybe play around with like the settings here. But yeah, this just adds to the sound. So right now, sounds like that, and with it, it just adds to the punch of the sound really. And yeah, that's that really. Then there's like a different sound again here, but doing basically the same thing and same processing, really nothing different there. Like there's a few plugins, but I'm not using those. And Soothe, because that one was a bit harsh probably. Soothe is smoothing out frequencies, so that's pretty nice. I love this plugin, so yeah. And yeah, this is like all pretty much sample based. Next up we only have like a few more glitches in between, which are also pretty much made in the same process by throwing on effects on the original master file. And then I have like things like that coming out, like really just throwing tons of effects, maybe like some effects plugins or something like that on there, and then just randomize everything basically. Then I just took like little parts that I liked and put it in there. So, and yeah, the really the last thing I want to be looking at is the only real sound design I did in Serum, which is the bass. So that one is quite interesting, this bass patch. So I made this one previously. So I really like to make my bass sounds before. So especially for sub basses. So I don't need to spend forever tweaking sub basses while I just want to make and write the song, you know. So but this one is quite interesting because you have like this your normal sub octave thing, like your fundamental note. But here you can see. It's like not a normal sine wave. It's like 2 basically, which creates like a third harmonic. And here we have 5 of those, so it's creating a 5th harmonic. And what that's doing is giving me like very precise opportunities to shape the sound. Because you could kind of achieve the same effect with distortion, but with distortion you have not so much control over if you want to boost maybe the 5th harmonic more than the second one. You could EQ it, but it's not the same thing basically. And what you can do here with this kind of approach is basically say, hey, maybe I just don't want the 3rd harmonic to be there as much, but maybe the 5th one, and listen to how that sounds then. So you can basically really precisely shape the sound, which is really nice. And then I'm adding like another distortion after that. But now the distortion reacts differently than if I were just to throw in a sine wave, you know? So I really recommend trying this out. Having like, I don't know how I actually made that. So apparently I used basic shapes and like kind of made like 2 cycles of that. I'm not entirely sure how I made that. Oh yeah, you just need to go in here in the wavetable editor and basically go from just having this one to have this third one, and here it's probably the 5th one. Yeah, exactly. So this is kind of how you do it. And yeah, this is the first one. This one is pretty empty, and the second one is like super nasty and thick. So how I made that one is that's really just like a sine wave with a saw wave on the same octave. But the saw wave is like super spread out with just 2 voices, but super detuned. So like the saw wave is really just on the side basically. Low passing that, but then distorting it again. And yeah, outside of that, I have erosion, which is doing a lot really. It's adding like all the noise that is squashed. Then I have a saturator that's doing a lot. Autofilter that's getting modulated a little bit, as you can see here. So just a notch filter that is just giving it a little bit more of a vowel feeling. So if you compare it with and without. So it's doing like this oi kind of effect. Just makes it sound a little bit more human, I guess. I mean, this sound is not super human, you know, but giving it still a little bit more human character, you know? I just like doing that sometimes. Little bit of OTT, little bit of more distortion. This is like just a rag I made. And then I'm like scoping out all those mid frequencies there, because you don't want mid frequencies in your track. And then just more shaping. I'm getting rid of the side signal here in the low end. More shaping, so you will often catch me just adding tons of EQs on there, because I don't like adding like all these points. I just like having like a fresh EQ and just really notching out the parts that I want. And yeah, that's really all that's happening to the sound. And I mean, yeah, you know, the pitch bend is kind of important for that one as well. Like, yeah, never underestimate what a pitch bend can really add to a sound. I think it's like even like 2 octaves that it's going up. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's really the basics of the track. You know, as I said, like the basic structure is like super simple, and then you can just play around with those sounds. And like the sounds are also like made like super simply just by resampling basically the main song. But I don't know, I feel like people seem to be enjoying the track, and like simple most of the time is even better. So yeah. I hope there were some tips that you guys were enjoying. As I said, I will be making more videos like that in the future very soon. So make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for that. And yeah, stream the song. See you in the next video.